You can spend the next year, the next decades, working out your life and spending countless sleepless nights trying to work out your life. And in 20 years' time, you'll still be working out your life in your mind. So, in spiritual awakening, especially the early stages of spiritual awakening, and even later on, I'll come to that, it does not mean that you know more about spirituality, about yourself, about the universe. That can be misleading. If you think that will imply that you suddenly know many, many things about yourself, the universe, life, that's misleading, because you may find that that's not happening. And the truth is, spiritual awakening means that you know less and less. And you become comfortable with knowing less and less until you come to the place of not knowing. But that is not the place of having fallen below thinking, which is the state of the tree or the animal. But this state of not knowing, you have risen above thinking. It's not the state of not knowing, as I've pointed out before, you may remember, that you get into when you drink a certain amount of alcohol. After a certain amount of alcohol, you don't know anything anymore. You won't even remember where you live. But we're not going there. We're not falling below thinking and moving towards unconsciousness. This state of not knowing is transcending the conceptual mind. It is a state of relaxed alertness. Relaxed, still alertness. And you've suddenly surrendered the desire to know, the desire to understand. You've let go of that. To work things out, to work out my life. My life is so problematic. You can spend the next year, the next decades, working out your life and spending countless sleepless nights trying to work out your life. And in 20 years' time, you'll still be working out your life in your mind. Because one challenging situation follows another, and your life never leaves you alone. You always get challenged. And so, letting go of the need to understand, especially the big questions. What am I supposed to do? Who am I? Other people, relationships, understand this, understand that. What's the purpose of the universe? Does it all make sense? Is it all just chance? Or as mainstream belief tells you, the entire universe is produced by chance. It's just totally meaningless conglomeration of atoms accidentally coming together and forming this universe. It's all complete. Ultimately, it means, of course, it's totally pointless. That is still the mainstream belief in mainstream culture. It underlies many things that you hear in the media and so on. But instead you let go of all that. You don't even argue with that. You don't say, no, there is a purpose. Even that, because you don't know. Go into not knowing, become comfortable with it, and the mind suddenly subsides. And then you look around, and a state of alertness remains, where before there was a confused person, now there's a state of alert presence. And this is what frees you from being in the grip of your personality, of your person, that lives through judgments and interpretations and labeling and forming little narratives about everything, stories. So I always say, when people say I don't know anymore, I say I'm confused. That's a good thing. It is? Yes. Become comfortable with not knowing. There's nothing to work out. And then you step into, that's the awakened state. And then gradually you can use your mind but always being aware of the limitations of whatever the mind is saying, the limitations of any conceptual understanding, the limitations of any opinion that you may have. It's a viewpoint, it's a story. You're no longer identified with mental positions, viewpoints, stories, and mistake them for the truth, because your sense of who you are comes from a deeper place.